Sarah Ferguson finally parts ways with Andrew amid ambitious new plans. Hello royal watchers, and welcome back to Crown Chronicles, the home of royal revelations, untold truths, and emotional stories from behind palace walls. Crown. If you love diving into the drama, elegance, and secrets of the British royal family, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss an update, because today's story might just mark the end of an era for one of the most fascinating royal duos in modern history. Yes, you read that right, Sarah Ferguson has finally parted ways with Prince Andrew, and the news is sending ripples through royal circles. After years of speculation, shared living arrangements, and endless rumors about reconciliation, the Duchess of York has reportedly made a firm decision. She's ready to move on, forge her own path, and step out from Andrew's shadow once and for all. But what does this really mean for Sarah, and for the royal family that's been both her blessing and her burden for nearly 4 decades? Let's rewind a bit. When Sarah Ferguson married Prince Andrew in 1986, it was the royal wedding of the year, a whirlwind of joy, laughter, and charm. Fergie, with her bright red hair and infectious energy, brought a fresh spark to the monarchy. She wasn't polished like Princess Diana, but she was warm, approachable, and undeniably human, and for a while, the public adored her. But as the fairy tale faded, reality set in. Andrew's naval career took him away for months at a time, while Fergie struggled with loneliness and constant press intrusion. By the early 1990s, cracks had become chasms. Their separation in 1992 and eventual divorce in 1996 made headlines worldwide. Yet, what made their story so unusual was what came after. Unlike most royal divorces that end in silence and distance, Sarah and Andrew remained, in their own words, the happiest divorced couple in the world. They continued to live together at Royal Lodge, raised their daughters Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie in harmony, and were often spotted laughing together at royal events. For decades, they maintained an odd but enduring friendship that blurred the lines between love, loyalty, and dependency, but now, that chapter seems to be closing. Multiple royal insiders say Sarah Ferguson has finally decided to separate her life completely from her ex-husband's. After years of emotional and financial ties, she is said to be stepping out to pursue a new, ambitious phase of her life, one centered on independence, purpose, and personal reinvention. For Sarah, this move isn't about bitterness. It's about liberation. Sources close to the Duchess claim she's eager to leave behind the royal baggage and rebuild her brand, this time on her own terms. And make no mistake, Fergie has plans. Big ones. She's already been quietly working on several major projects, expanding her successful line of children's books, deepening her philanthropic work, and even developing a production company to tell stories that inspire women and celebrate resilience. There's also talk of new memoirs, business ventures, and speaking tours, all designed to reintroduce the world to a Sarah Ferguson who no longer needs a prince by her side, and yet, the timing of her departure from Andrew's orbit couldn't be more striking. In the wake of Prince Andrew's ongoing royal exile, following his association with the late Jeffrey Epstein and his loss of public duties, Sarah's decision to create distance feels both symbolic and strategic. For years, her loyalty to Andrew defined her, but now, she's choosing to define herself. Royal observers have noticed subtle signs of change for months. Fergie has been making more independent appearances, forging partnerships outside royal influence, and openly discussing her life lessons in interviews. Recently, she spoke about moving forward without resentment, a phrase many now see as a quiet signal that she's letting go of her past ties. Meanwhile, Royal Lodge, the Grand Windsor estate that Sarah has called home for years, is said to be at the center of this shift. With King Charles III streamlining royal finances and questioning non-working royals' use of crown properties, it's widely believed that Sarah may soon leave the residence entirely. Instead of fighting to hold on, insiders say she's accepted the change and is ready to build a new home, and a new life, elsewhere. It's a striking transformation for a woman who once seemed forever entangled in the monarchy's web. From scandal to survival, Sarah Ferguson has been through it all: tabloid humiliation, financial collapse, public mockery, and redemption. But somehow, she's always managed to rise again, and this latest move may be her most powerful comeback yet. The Duchess's relationship with her daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, remains her greatest source of strength. The sisters have often called their mother their rock. And insiders say they've been her biggest supporters in this next chapter. With both daughters now married, building families, and navigating their own semi-royal lives, Sarah reportedly feels it's time to step out of her comfort zone and prove to herself, and the world, that she's more than just Andrew's ex-wife. What's fascinating is that even as she parts ways from Andrew personally and professionally, the bond between them doesn't seem bitter or broken. Those close to the pair say there's still great affection between them, but Fergie's focus is now on her own purpose, her own brand, and her own destiny. It's a shift that symbolizes something bigger, the changing face of the modern royal woman. Gone are the days when royal wives were expected to fade quietly into the background after divorce. Today, they're entrepreneurs, activists, and leaders in their own right, and Sarah's new direction fits perfectly into that narrative. Of course, not everyone is convinced the separation will last. Some royal watchers believe Fergie and Andrew's connection runs too deep for a full break. They're soulmates in their own unconventional way, one royal biographer said recently. Even if they live apart, there's always going to be that unspoken tie. But whether or not this parting is permanent, one thing is undeniable: Sarah Ferguson is reclaiming her story. She's stepping into the spotlight once more, but this time not as a duchess defined by scandal, but as a woman defined by strength. So, is this truly the end of one of the royal family's most unconventional love stories? Or simply the beginning of Sarah Ferguson's most empowered era yet? Only time will tell. What we do know is that Fergie's spirit, fiery, flawed, and endlessly fascinating, remains unshaken. And for royal watchers around the world, her journey from palace privilege to personal freedom is a story worth watching. Thank you for joining us here on Crown Chronicles. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest royal revelation, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, tap that notification bell, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Crown, because here at Crown Chronicles, we don't just report royal news, we uncover the heart behind the crown.